Greetings from all of us here at Grace Evangelistic Ministries. I want to bring you a word of encouragement in a time such as this. As a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord has placed you here for a purpose. You're not here by an accident. You are here by divine design. God has a plan for your life, and that plan is in front of Him. I like the way Isaiah puts it. Isaiah said that He has engraved you, or better word, tattooed your name on His palm. That means you are in front of Him 24/7. He doesn't need to search His file to find your name among 8 billion people plus. No, you are in front of Him. That means He knows everything about you. He knows what is going in your life as a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. And He doesn't just know what you are going through. He knew this before you were formed in the womb. As He told Jeremiah, when Jeremiah was so confused, wondering why did he even get into this business. He never signed this contract. He whined and complained, and God said to him, Jeremiah, take a seat. Let's have a father and son dialogue. Before we have dialogue, let me just tell you one thing. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I know everything about you. And David echoed that truth also. David said, when I was formed in the secret place, that God knows everything about His information, the intricate part of His being. God knows. That's omniscient. He knows what He's doing. There is no, oops, I didn't know that would happen. Not with God. And so, have you been in a situation as a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ? You feel like you are caved in. You've tried everything. You've called people to pray for you. The whole world have caught up on heaven. And you just feel like you're caved in. You've done everything you possibly could do as a believer. And you know you are living a life that is honoring to God. And you pray and pray and pray. You have even become a prayer warrior. You pray by the minute. And yet, God seems to be very silent. You're not alone. You're not the first person that experienced or have come to a point of experiencing such a dilemma. John the Baptist, of all the people, the person who spoke for the first time in 400 years, a voice that came from the Lord straight in the wilderness. We know the story in the 11th chapter of Matthew. He was in prison. The plan to behead him was on the horizon. And he waited for Jesus to come and rescue him. Nothing, he didn't show up. He didn't even ask. He didn't even send people to go and ask for John. And John waited and waited and finally sent his own disciples. Go and ask Jesus, hey, man, are you really the person we are waiting, or do we have to wait for somebody else? Have you been in that position? Whereby you ask yourself. And here was a man who heard the voice of God. Only 2 or 3 people heard the voice of God the Father in the entire New Testament. And John the Baptist was one of them. He heard the voice of God directly from above. Behold, behold, this is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased. So he heard that voice, and he positively identified him as the Messiah. And now, the little doubt has come, because Jesus had not come to rescue him. Of course, he got it mixed up, like other Jews. They thought that Jesus would just come and take their problems away. No, not so fast. That was not the purpose of his coming. He came for something bigger and greater, the redemption of the soul of man. So John was depressed. Are you? What did Jesus tell him? Go tell John what you see. The blind see, the deaf hear, the lame walk. Go and tell John. In other words, according to Isaiah 35, only the Messiah could have done what Jesus did. In other words, that's the evidence that I am the one. As a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. Know one thing, and not one thing, know it for sure. God has not left you. He has a plan for your life. He will fulfill it at the time of his choosing. Keep trusting him. Keep believing in him. Until next time, may God richly bless you, my beloved.